you know? So what do you think about that?
I feel like, I don't know, people they don't be having a filter on social media. They just like say whatever, you know, like, and in reality, a lot of people don't actually like be like that in person, you know. So like social media just, I don't know, it get them this security to just, you know, say whatever without no, you know, like repercussions of it.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 4th episode of Bobby Mac Talks Back. As you can see, I have an extra chair, so I may or may not be having a guest today. I have new glasses. I just wanted to throw that out there as well because I love them. So basically today I'm going to be talking about something that 4 people have hit me up about, and honestly, I love it. That's exactly what I actually got to do. Hit me up about topics you want me to talk about. And I'm going to be talking about the attacks on Iran. Yes, it's been talked about literally over a week now, so I know a lot of information has been out there already that I don't need to necessarily rehash. But I am going to give just a little bit of background because then I want to get into my main topic. Because when I was asked to talk about this, you know, I was like, I feel like a lot of information is out there, like I said, and I want to bring a new perspective. So I thought, how about I talk about how social media, Twitter in particular, has kind of snowballed this whole thing. And because, yeah, I'll get into that. But right now I'm going to give a little bit of a background. So last week, as we all know, President Donald Trump ordered the assassination of General Qasem Soleimani in Iraq. And it caused a lot of controversy, a lot of backlash, and a lot of outcry on social media and from the people in Iran. Of course, we all saw a video of his funeral. Streets were crowded with, a lot of people. A lot of people were mourning over his death. And actually, one of the interesting things that I found out by just listening to one of my favorite podcasts, The Daily by New York Times, is that they were saying they weren't sure if Donald Trump really knew how important he was and how much of a symbol he was to people in Iran. And that's what I found interesting because, you know, a lot of people were saying he was a threat to the United States. Of course, he helped conduct and carried out a lot of attacks against U.S. troops and civilians. And recently, of course, the United States contractor who was killed. You know, it's a build-up. But he was still very important to a lot of people in Iran. At his funeral, there was a lot of chanting for war, a lot of death to America type sayings. And people were saying he was a national hero. And one of the reporters with the New York Times who was there noticed a lot of people who were actually activists who weren't necessarily for the regime. They were against the regime. They had been jailed by the regime. But at the same time, they were still there and they were still mourning. And so when asked, one person said, knowing that he was out there made me feel safer and he felt like a security blanket. So yeah, they didn't necessarily agree with all of his methods, but knowing that he was working on behalf of the people made them feel safer. And so taking that security blanket, in a sense, taking that away, you know, took some of their power away from them. So that's just a little bit of background and a little bit of the history and a little bit of the problems that arise. So that brings me to my next topic, which is the tweets that I saw on Twitter about just the possibility of a war, World War III trending as a hashtag. You know, all of that was very just like, whoa. Yeah, some of it was definitely funny. Like, I cannot lie about that. So yeah, I just want to start talking a little bit more about the power of social media, the influence of social media, and has it made us kind of desensitized to just these different topics. So with that, I'm going to bring in my guest. If you would hurry up.
What up?
Yes, hello. This is Tyron Price. Say hello.
What up, y'all?
So I asked him to join me because we're talking about social media, and I don't feel like I should talk about it alone. I think I needed a guest to talk about this. So again, let's start with one of the first things that you saw about the whole thing. For me, the first meme I saw was the one with Future texting like an ex or whatever. And it was like what, yeah, I heard we're going to war, but we need to fix the war between us, and just it was just hilarious. Like, I thought that was so funny, and that made me, of course, look into it and read an actual article about it. But that was literally the first thing I saw about World War III. What was the first thing you saw?
The first meme I saw was Kodak when he was like.
Let me drive the boat.
That was the first one I saw. Then I saw another one. It was real messed up though.
Yeah, some of them were messed up, and we're not we're not gonna discuss those messed up ones. But a lot of them were funny. Like, can't even deny that. Let's look through some of the other memes and talk about them.
Another one that I thought was funny was when I saw the basketball coach coming in the locker room slapping everybody 5, and then everybody was like, when me and my homies go to jail for escaping the army camp.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, that video was hilarious. And there was another one talking about in 2020 I'm gonna get married and have kids, and then it was a video of Tekashi 6ix9ine talking about
Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
But I did see a lot of people on timeline who were saying, they were scared. Why is everything got to be a joke? So, yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think that social media has kind of desensitized us to the point where we're always got to make a joke about something, immediately?
Yeah, but also I feel like, I don't know, I don't watch the news, so I be just learning a lot from social media. But I feel like, yeah, it kind of just make people just not just care. They be just saying whatever, on social media. They just, everybody entitled to their opinion, but they don't really be caring what other people got to say. So, they kind of be, kind of a-holes in a sense, just no censor, no filter, just, hey, I feel this way, what the bam. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I do feel as though there's a time and place. I don't know, because at the same time, I think it's comforting for a lot of people. Because, again, that same person that I saw saying, hey, I'm scared, y'all, for real, what's going on? 20 minutes later, they tweeted, actually, this making me feel low-key better. And, that's just an example of, okay, is there anything you can do about it at this time? And if there's not, let's just laugh about it. Some people were saying, that's kind of a privilege, obviously, that everybody doesn't have. People in Iran don't have that privilege to just make jokes about something like this, or a lot of people were saying that. And, just saying, basically arrogant Americans making jokes because they can, because, they think it's funny. So, yeah, I definitely feel both sides about that argument, because at the same time, it's if this is going to help me cope, and also if this is going to kind of help me dig into the problem, because let's face it, a lot of people weren't going to go back and read an article about the tensions that have been brewing for how long, or, just different important key factors in this whole thing. But maybe seeing 10 funny memes on social media made them want to go back and do a little bit of research. Okay, why really was this man killed? And, what's the next steps for that? World War III might have been kind of an overstep, but at least it made them kind of dig back. So, yeah, I don't know. I will say I saw one post in particular that kind of made me take a step back. Like, okay, people are definitely becoming a little too insensitive. This girl posted her girlfriend who was being deployed and saying, like, you know, just pray for people. You never know. Like, literally, I couldn't even really say goodbye to my girlfriend and yada, yada. And people just would lighten her up with comments talking about, well, no one told your girlfriend to enlist. You knew this can happen. You never knew what the situation could be. You know, yada, yada, yada. Like, and I'm just like, okay, being funny on social media, having the power of social media does not give you the license to just show zero empathy. Like, empathy is what makes us human beings. And it's like, you know, so what do you think about that?
I feel like, I don't know, people just, they don't be having a filter on social media. They just, like, say whatever, you know, like, and in reality, a lot of people don't actually, like, be like that in person, you know. So, like, social media just, I don't know, it get them this security to just, you know, say whatever without no, you know, like, repercussions of it, you know. And I think that's all really what it is. You know, people feel like, you know, I'm not in person, or, oh, it's just social media, so it don't really hurt, when in reality, you know, it really does hurt, you know, somebody in some type of way.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, yeah, my thoughts and prayers are with everyone who is out there, of course. Iranians, too. Honestly, as we've seen different events unfold throughout this last week, my personal opinion is that things won't escalate any further. We all know, most people probably heard about the plane that was shot down, and officials in the United States, Britain, and UK, I want to say, no, Canada, I'm sorry, they say that it's very possible and very likely that Iran did shoot down a plane that unfortunately killed, I want to say, 67 Britons, but they do say that it probably was an accident. Obviously, the future will tell, but I'm sure social media will tell us first. So, with that, I want to say thank you for watching Bobby Mac Talks Back. And tune in. What do you think? Does social media make us too desensitized to things? Is there a time and place for the jokes? And, you know, or is it not a problem at all? Like, does people need to just grow a backbone, maybe, as a lot of people like to say? Because it's just Twitter. That's what everybody says, right? So, comment, weigh in, and let me know what you think. Thank you so much and have a great day. Follow me on social media. All right. Bye, guys.